Okay, you're live. Good morning. Good morning. Is it the morning? No, it's not. It's the afternoon. It is the afternoon. Actually, I mean, it should be obvious because I've been awake for ages. Got up at 6, watched the Grand Prix qualifying. It's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. It's worth getting up for. Formula One's definitely very different this year. People are not very happy about it. Depends who you ask. I think there are pros and cons. But yes, good afternoon, everyone. It is day 2 at the major of only a 3-day major. Feels weird to only have a 3-day major in a way. But I think it's good. I think the tournament is better for it. 8 games yesterday, lots of drama. Only 4 games today. I think 4 matches is the optimal number of match slots. Because 5 matches in a day is, I mean, what is that? 7.5 hours of COD, and it's more like 8. That's a long day of COD. But 6 hours, I think, is better because people can have lunch before and then they can have dinner after at like 8:30 to 10. And then it actually works, I think. What's good, everyone? Good afternoon. Wish you lads would watch part of the games. I did hop on the Benjay show for a little bit. But man, watch partying is so tiring, man. Oh my God. I ran into Mook yesterday. He'd just come off the Bush watch party and he was just wandering down to try and like get a breather. I don't know. I appreciate he was going for it a bit more because he'd like come through jet lagged and all this stuff, right? How's Birmingham? Well, for the second day in a row, it's just started to rain. Isn't it wonderful? When I opened the blinds about 10 minutes ago, before I ran this, there was a little bit of blue sky. I can actually see a little bit of blue sky. But, I mean, look, we're not really in Birmingham, right? This is the benefit of doing it at the NEC. You're nicely out of Birmingham, and you're by the airport. So you don't have to go into Birmingham, which is good. When is the first game? The first game will be in 1 hour, 20 minutes, as far as I understand. It's 2:42 a.m. in Hawaii. Wow. I respect it. Good morning to you, sir. Lovely and sunny down here in Brighton. Yeah, absolutely. It's not lovely and sunny up here. But good day games yesterday. More to come today. The venue's pretty great. I have kind of mixed opinions on what I feel about these events. Like, they're nostalgic, but there's something about doing it in an arena which is just cooler in a way. I don't know. I have like mixed opinions. Like the DreamHack event in the big warehouse it's very well done. It's just how like it used to be back in the day. I feel like when I first went to like Anaheim or something, an event that was done like this, it was so novel. But I think what I like about the arenas is the arenas are all different and they all have their nuances, whereas here it's effectively just one massive open space and you can do what you want. And to the credit, like the stage setup is fantastic. Like they've done a great job with it. He's once again asking about the black boxes with the tablets in. But then see, look, the black, you see it says morning, night, morning, noon and evening, and then it tells you the tablets you have to take like an old person. But I just stuff all my like vitamin D and stuff in here. Where can I find the full video of that BO6 cheater exposing hacks on consoles? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, to be honest, so I can't really help you there. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think the way that they've set it up is great. The Challengers pit is fantastic. Like being able to walk around that is really good. And I don't want that to change. And the venue itself is great. Again, there's always problems with like access and cards and all this bollocks. Like yesterday, I go and pick up my media pass and I take the media pass to get in to the CDL floor and the bloke won't let me in. He's like, no, you need a different wristband. That's not the right wristband. I'm like, mate, I can't really do my job. But whatever, it's fine. I went back to talk to some people. They sorted me out, and it's worked out okay. And actually, because of that, I can now get backstage. So I'm going to try today and see if I can get some player interviews. The setup is weird. I don't know how exactly it's going to work. Like, basically, as far as I can tell, in order to get player interviews, you just have to like force your way in. What's good, Ethan? Thank you for the $10. You're very kind. Happy Saturday. Yeah, it's a beautiful Saturday. And actually, the rain has now stopped and I can see a little bit of blue sky. I wouldn't say it's sunny. That would be a stretch. Yeah, that's what I said yesterday once. Like, I know. My grandparents always used to have these when they would put all the tablets in the little boxes, but it's so convenient, mate. It's way more convenient than taking the vitamin D tablets and the magnesium and the zinc individually out of their thing every day. So it's a game changer, mate. It's a game changer. Today, get to some good games. I'm sure today should be good. I mean, both of the first two games should be pretty banging. Paris versus FaZe should be really good. OpTic G2, we'll see. I mean, OpTic could do a number on them. Why do they have the matches going on at the same time? Yeah, it's just because there's not enough time in the day to get through all the matches if you don't do simultaneous games. I think that's personally fine. It's a bit weird in the venue because you kind of have to. I mean, online you don't have to choose. Like, you can watch both, but in person you have to choose what you're gonna watch. The way that it's set up though means that it is possible to watch both, kind of. Like, at the way the Bravo station is set up, you can walk from the main area back over there just a little bit. So it does work, I think. How do you think the Americans are finding England from the ones I've spoken to? I've barely spoken to any Americans. The only Americans I've spoken to really are players or the commentators or something like that. So I guess that does kind of apply. But lots of them have been here before, really. So I don't know if it's quite the same thing. There's so many like British lads, Irish lads, Scottish lads here as well. And there's quite a few French that have come over for the Gentlemates. So it's a really good turnout. It is. Friday was so busy yesterday compared to a standard Friday at an event. You know, like a lot of the events we go to, they get busy Saturday and then busier Sunday. It was really busy yesterday with respect to what the capacity was. How big is the delay from when the game ends live to when it ends on broadcast? I don't think it's actually that big. I think they used to do like a 2-minute delay. It might still be a 2-minute delay. It's somewhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes if they still do that live delay. I know that last year at DreamHack they did have a 2-minute delay because we were told that when we did our watch party from DreamHack Dallas, we absolutely had to put a 2-minute delay on the stream. And we may have slightly forgotten to do that. So that's what we were told last year. So that's all I can tell you. I don't know if that still applies this year or not, but presumably it does. You know what's pretty funny as well? Yesterday I was coming back to my room after I was just walking back from the event. The last match was just about to finish. I was like, I'm going to make the video. I'm going to have this Subway, and then I'm going to go straight to sleep because I've got to get up at 6 to watch the qualifying. And I bumped into Shotzzy and JP. And I'm pretty sure Shotzzy is staying in, well, he might be in that room. He might be in that room. He might be further down the hallway. I'm not 100% sure. But Shotzzy's, the OpTic guys are like staying on this floor right next to me. So I was somewhat self-conscious this morning because I literally told you guys the Illy story yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys are listening when I talked about the Illy story from Boston a few years ago about him like overhearing me yap my intro at 6 in the morning. Well, after I told that, I couldn't actually believe it when I ran into Shotzzy because I was like, I've actually preempted this. They're staying like right here. So when I made the video this morning, I was like, Shotzzy's going to hear me through the wall yapping about this clip of him cooking FaZe. So thought it was all pretty funny, to be honest. The game should start in about 1 hour, 15 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some challenges drama as well. I know that there is, let me just flick this back to live and see what's going on in challenges right now. Okay, Omit versus the Bush. It's actually a pretty big game, this. Real, Cammy, Bracken, Asim. I mean, it's always going to be a big game. And we know that Bush aren't exactly favourites in Overload. So, but this is a winner's bracket game. I think they're guaranteed top 12 right now. So there's a lot more work to be done. Real finds the gap and he gets gunned down. You couldn't make it up. Okay, and also Real might be back in the Pro League. Basically, that's what everyone's saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but oh my God, it's good trades. I don't know if that's true, but everyone seems to be saying that Real is going to be back in to the Heretics. But I don't know if that's true, obviously, but something to think about. That's what people are saying. I saw it on Twitter last night. I saw it talked about everywhere, really. So I don't know if you guys think that's a good idea or not, but people were saying that Metal's gone, Real back in. I mean, it would be a slightly different team to last year because you're keeping Trakes, and I think that's probably justified. Is Real shooting in challenges? Good question. I mean, we'll see if he wins this series, but we'll look at a couple of tweets first. Real and Trakes can be crazy. Yeah, I still believe in Real. Like, let's not forget he was pretty good. Like, even when he went to Ravens, he was pretty good early days. You're always taller than the person you're interviewing. I'm like 6'4.5", but like I tend to wear boots a lot, word to Mamba. So there's probably a good another like inch in there, to be honest. I'm thinking today because I want to go backstage and get some interviews with some players. But when I stand next to them, it usually looks ridiculous. But the way that it's set up back there, there's no like chairs I can just grab. So I might just have to send it and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I have to get the cameraman to do some good work. But I don't know who the cameraman's going to be. So it adds complication. Maybe getting double first rounded is the best case scenario for Real. Worth a shot if the chemistry isn't cooked. Yeah, I think it's worth a go. I think they should put him back in, to be honest. It's like Metals, I do rate him, and I think he has a pretty hard job playing with Renko and Super, but also, like, Metals has been around forever, man. He's been around forever. Like, he was on the team in 2019 in Black Ops 4. Not to say that he's still not pretty good, because he is, but, like, he was the young, cracked kid on that team 7 years ago, and it's just difficult to maintain a career. Like, most people, obviously he was out of the league for a long time, but most people, they only play for a couple of years. So, do you think they trial Snoopy, or is he cooked? Nah. I don't think Snoopy's cooked, but I think they would prefer to go back to what they know with Real rather than go for Snoopy. I think it's too many. Snoopy's... Maybe they could have got Snoopy before the start of the season. That was the talk. Maybe instead of Trakes, but that didn't happen. Is the venue smaller or bigger than the average venue? The venue is definitely bigger than the average venue, just because it's just a huge hall. And all the seats obviously are on ground level. So in order to fit 5,500 people, which is what the capacity is in this hallway, you've got to do it as a central stage and then people fanning out from there. But they've set it up well. Like, they've got a ton of big screens so that even if you're a long way from the stage, you can still see what's going on. But you do feel like you're a long way from the stage, you know? Like, when you're at the back of the venue, it does feel like you're a long way from the stage because you are. Like, it's not set up like a bowl. Yeah, I don't know. I think you get better acoustics in a bowl as well. And it's just generally, like, the event we had in Dallas just now was actually really cool. And also because it's like an arena in Dallas, you've got the suites and the players are all kind of crammed in upstairs. It's just, every event has a different feeling. Whereas, and this event has a different feeling. It's great to be back, but also it's, I wouldn't want every event to be like this. I think that's my point, really. Like, I like the mix, maybe, between the big events and the DreamHacks. I think what's interesting about the DreamHack is that I've not really spent much time walking around the expo, but there's only a couple of halls of the expo. Like, it's not crazy in terms of the amount of, publishers and all of that they've got going on here. So, and I know that there's F1 esports going on, which I want to go and check out, actually. I might wander over there today just to see what's happening, because that looks like a pretty cool setup they've got. But and I think there's Halo going on as well. But yeah, it's interesting. I think COD is 100% the main attraction here by a long way. And that's not a bad thing at all. Like, I think people are going to discover COD for the first time as a result. I don't know if the Cyben boys were there. What I did see is that there's like the Arnold bodybuilding convention. Daryl tweeted that that Ronnie Coleman was at the Nando's yesterday because there's a Nando's just. I actually thought that it was on the first floor and they'd replaced it with the Las Iguanas, but I'd not been down to the ground floor, so the Nando's is still there on the ground floor of the Resorts World, and yeah, so I thought apparently Ronnie Coleman was there last night, which is pretty mega. I thought. Will Heretics give Rel another chance? That's the rumour anyway. That is the rumour. I think today's going to be even bigger than yesterday. Quali is in 5 minutes, race at 5 p.m. What are you watching, brother? Is Crimsix racing or something? Yeah, lightweight, baby. Dota 2 looking good. Yeah, I didn't see Ronnie Coleman, but apparently he was there. So, I don't know. I'm only going off Jarreel's tweet last night, but hopefully the Arnie convention is going on the whole weekend, because that would be pretty... I mean, I'm assuming it is. So it'd be pretty cool, actually. Might wander over there. Not like I know much about bodybuilding, really, but it's pretty cool. If some of the... Actually, it's funny, actually, because I came to Birmingham a couple years ago for... I don't know what it was, actually. It wasn't a DreamHack. It was some sort of other convention. And Hathor Bjornsson was here. Like Thor, right? He was here doing something or other. It wasn't at the NEC though. It was at some other venue. But yeah, Thor was there. So I don't know what's going on with these with these like big lads turning up. Oh, F1 Esports. Okay, understood, Connor. Very good shout. Yeah, I was a little bit confused what you were yapping about. All right, interesting. Race at 5 p.m. Okay, maybe that could be good timing then. I could head over there. Because the China race was yesterday, wasn't it? And then there's two more races they're still doing. Maybe they do Japan or something else. I don't know. I don't know if they do Japan. Actually, remind me what tracks they do. Because they want to do ones where the overtaken's good, I guess. I could see all the Sidemen boys except Harry turning up just because of COD and Vic for Warzone. Yeah, maybe. I ran into Vicstar a couple of years ago. Because he used to be a co-owner in the Ravens in the early days. Like, he did those live streams, remember? Which is pretty funny. Yeah, so... Not correlated, but what's your 200 fly? I've not swum 200 fly since I was, like, 13 or 14. So, I would not be able to tell you. But, yeah, I do not intend to swim 200 fly anytime soon. I'm not a 200 fly swimmer. Absolutely not. Certainly not long course. I could barely do a 100 fly long course, to be honest. But yeah, I've not got the fitness for that, mate. But maybe I'll do it at Club Champs. Some of the guys I think will do it just for fun, just to embarrass themselves a little bit. What time is first match UK time? It should be in about an hour. Okay, I think it's Japan today. Good shout. Why has no team picked up Daryl from the vlogs and stuff? He seems so good. Yeah, look, I rate Daryl as well. I don't know if there's a bit of politics or exactly how it goes. I'm not sure, but his record was pretty good, obviously, with the Subliners. It was just interesting timing, I guess, because he worked with Hydra, so he was kind of considered like Hydra's guy, Hydra's right-hand man and all this. And then when they parted ways and Hydra, well, he ends up on Cloud9 and then he ends up on Thieves, then it kind of changed the tone, right? How do you feel about the Bravo streams? I feel like it takes away from the event by off-screening games. As a fan, you want to watch all the games on the main stage. I disagree. Like, I think it's better having more CODs. We want a tournament. Like, I don't mind the shit teams getting eliminated on Bravo Station. I'm not bothered by that. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Miami didn't get the chance to play on main stage. That's unfortunate scheduling. I don't think a 10-team tournament with 2 play-ins is the way to go for multiple reasons. They did it to try and create a narrative because we had so many weeks of qualifiers. But also, it's obviously not the ideal format. But like, when we run this Birmingham event back in 2018, we had 4 stages. We had Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. That was the standard back then. We had 4 games on at once a lot of the time. Because if you wanted to get through a tournament across 3 days, that's what you had to do. And I think it is the way to do it. And it gives you a lot to do in the venue. I don't really think it matters in a way. Like, in the venue, you get to choose. Am I going to watch the game on main stage or am I going to watch the Bravo station? You just got to be careful with the setup because back in the day, like, whenever OpTic would be playing on the Bravo station, it was just absolutely manic over there. So you've got to be careful with that. Obviously, you can just schedule OpTic to play main stage, which is probably fine. But I like it. I think it's a good move in the right direction. I always... when I went to London 2019 compared to London 2020, the event in person was so much more dead, only having one match at a time. Like compared to London 2019, when we had 4 games on at once, and there was so much to do and to choose from, and then you also had the whole of the amateur bracket, it makes the in-person experience way better than just having one game. Like, and as much as I said I do like the bowls for the arena style stuff, I think that this tournament, for an attendee who's like being to their, like for just a normal fan, a normal attendee, this event will be better because there's so much to do. Like, there's so much to go and see. And you can choose what you're going to do and just wander around and get pictures with players that walk into their games and all this stuff. Yeah, most people will choose the main stage and it's set up for that, but I think it's a good solution. It was the same when OpTic was there. Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be like that. But yeah, Rencor was pretty salty, but I do get it, unfortunately, for Rencor. But Miami, Spanish cod cheese, it is what it is, unfortunate. What about Falcons as well? I kind of had some faith in Falcons. I'm not really sure why. I guess I got fooled by online cards. I guess that is what it is. We need to talk about Hydra and Abizi's performance yesterday. There's clearly a problem there. No way they should both be shooting the BS like that. Yeah, I mean, they started off map 1. They were absolutely getting torched. It is confusing that they can't seem to find their way onto the same page. Like, I still somehow think they're good enough to make the Sunday, but like they've clearly got issues with their play. It's not a great look for Abizi. I think Hydra's not playing very well. Obviously, we know that. But, like, yeah, I'd see the varying opinions on what to do with Abizi and Hydra. It's just because Simp is absolutely frying as well. I think that's the problem for Abizi's propaganda, right? Is like, Abizi's left. Hydra was good last year. Maybe not very good, but he was certainly good last year. And then you've got Hydra loses Envoy and Abizi comes in, and then Simp loses Abizi and 04 comes in. And Simp is playing better than last year and Hydra's playing worse. And I'm not saying that that's just down to Abizi or anything, but like, it's not a great look, really. And yeah, I don't know exactly what they do, why they can't figure it out. People are like, oh, Abizi's washed. I'm not sure I buy that quite yet, but like, can we really remember an Abizi takeover map this year? The only thing I really remember was when they played Thieves, or when they played FaZe, and Abizi and Simp were both popping off. Like, that was right at the start of the season. So I don't know. What about swapping out Abizi for Kismet? Look, it's probably something you could do if you wanted to do. Because I wouldn't be that surprised if Kismet is very gettable right now from Falcons after yesterday. Envoy is too important as a sub-duo. How much he enables his teammates. Yeah, look, I'm not surprised that Paris turned up yesterday and looked a lot better than they did online. Envoy had a big map 2 in the search and destroy, so they got the job done, which was big. So, Benjay loving these Abizi performances. Hot take, Abizi should take a lead SMG role and Hydra should play off him. Hydra doesn't know what he's doing now that Abizi should be able to complement that. I agree. It's a little bit confusing. But like, Hydra's playstyle has always been a little different, right? Like, he's always kind of tried to be a do-it-all sub, kind of like how Scump was. So, just Abizi is just surprisingly kind of slow, which is the confusing thing, I think. How does Xnib play like that? I have no idea. And this doesn't even show you the full extent of it, because not only is he tilted the monitor to the side, but he's also himself tilted to the side. He's like, he's at an angle himself. I don't get it, but yeah, he does the same thing online. I feared last year's Thieves more than this team. Oh, 100%. Not even close. Like, last year's Thieves were, I mean, they were a great team. They really were. I spoke with their performance coach at Major 2 last year, and when they bombed out, of course, they lost to Boston that event, then they bombed out the tournament later on, and they weren't happy, but they They recognized where things were going wrong, what they needed to do to fix it, and I was confident they were going to turn it around, and they did. They won Major 3, they won Major 4. I mean, they had the 2 best Slayers in their respective roles and like the 2 best objective players. I mean, it couldn't have been a much better team. Like genuinely, last year's Thieves were sensational. Like their control was unreal. They were the scariest team. They were the number 1 seed, weren't they? At the end of the season, they were the number 1 seed, I think. They dethroned FaZe. So it's a very different story this time around. Rab, do you think Envy will qualify for an international for Val? Honestly, no. Like, maybe. I mean, there's quite a few teams that can qualify for champs, but I think it's a tall order just because it's really challenging in Valorant. There's not many teams that even qualify for internationals. I think Envy can do it. I just still worry about like internal drama being too much for them, but Cloud9 aren't going to make it. Abyssian and Hydra have redundancy, both face smash the opposing team and fight for kills in the same spots. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think both of them probably need to adapt, but also when it's been this long and it's not really happened, then you can't expect much else, can you? Like, they've played together for months now and nothing really seems to have changed. But look, at least they survived yesterday. But it wasn't pretty, you know, because like you can't lose to FaZe like that. When FaZe bottle the map 1 that badly and then you dominate the search, you can't lose that series. You can't get reverse swept by Draza there. But they did. I rate Envoy very highly. Like I don't think there's a player who you can, like, obviously every player has their runway, right? Like nobody lasts forever at the top level, and Envoy's also been around a very long time. So maybe he's not exactly peak Envoy anymore, like prime Envoy. But I mean, still, there's no one better for that. There's no one better for that Gentlemates team than Envoy, to be honest. That's what I think. So that's why before the tournament, people were like, oh, if they lose to Ravens, they should drop Envoy. I'm like, I just don't see it. I don't really think they will anyway. They're just proven with this team now. So what do you do? Favorite team in Valorant? I used to like the old OpTic team. I used to like the old NRG team. I don't really have massive allegiance now. I will say I do like the Envy team. Like I would like them to do well with Demon 1 and that. I quite have a soft spot for Demon 1. I just think it's kind of funny. Lanimals and bedroomers might be a thing. I heard when you're not on main stage, they're on like a fake LAN setup. It's all a fake LAN setup. Like nothing's real LAN anymore. Back in the day, you used to have a bunch of PS4s or Xboxes and you would plug them into one another and that would be real LAN. But nowadays, there's no more real LAN. You just play on a server with the servers based here. So LAN is kind of fake, but it's the stage, you know. There's a difference when you play on a stage. People play different. Ghosty is elite and not enough people talk about that. He had a good day yesterday for sure. Yeah, no such thing as a real LAN. Hydra's not the same. He had GOAT potential. It's clear that he's not the same player. I don't think that's a skill thing though. Like I have my questions on mentality and stuff like that. Like I remember when he sat down with Daryl, he did a podcast episode with Daryl, and he was talking about how his goal is to win 4 rings, or like he wanted more rings than anyone else. That's what he said in his episode, that he'd got his first ring, and then he said, "What's Karma's record? 3 it was at the time. Well, I want 4." And like I was like, damn, okay, Hydra's moving like that. Like he's driven by nothing other than just championship success, trying to be the greatest ever. And I don't know if I see that kind of anymore. Like I see that from players like Simp, I think, when they just have this like unwavering commitment to be the best. I don't know. Some players have it like that. Some players don't have it like that. And maybe that's fine. Like Celium doesn't have it like that, you know? If he did, he would have gone to Thieves rather than going to Falcons for the bag. And I respect that. But, you know, but also it is what it is. So, but some players just got the dog. maybe that's not fair about Simp, but you know, am I an amputee? Do you see the story about the guy the other day who like apparently killed someone, but he had no arms and no legs? I'm not saying that's me, obviously. but then he got his new teeth and changed his ways. I don't know, like, people change. But yeah. You think Simp is the GOAT? No, I mean, I've been kind of critical of Simp, but like, I will say to Simp's credit, since he came around in the league, like, I've been critical of Simp in terms of finals record and stuff like this. I remember there was some thing with FaZe, and he said, they asked the FaZe team, would you prefer to win all 4 majors or champs? And the whole team said prefer to win champs. Simp said he preferred to win the majors. So I read that as like, oh, damn, Simp, you know, maybe Simp just prefers the cash, right? Because you probably make more money doing that way. But rather than like the legacy and all this, I thought that was an interesting answer. But like, Simp was unreal at Black Ops 4 when he first came in, and he's had very, very few off years. And this year's another quality year. So I think Simp just gets more credit for me as time goes on, especially now you start to see Hydra's having a down year, Abeezy's having a down year, you know? Like, Simp had one kind of off year in Modern Warfare 2, and that was it, right? But apart from that, he's been godlike every year. So it's pretty impressive, to be honest. Rab, why are you not live on the main channel? Well, what, you mean the Attack Rab channel? I mean, there's I could be live over there, but also there's a video of people to watch over there. So I could do that at some point. I have thought about it a little bit. He's fallen off towards the end of the year a few years now. Yeah, look, I agree. I've been critical of Simp at champs. It's just Simp at champs. Like, his KD at champs is below a 1 all time. So, you know, that's pretty bad. But equally, he's always been like there every year as an MVP candidate. So, but obviously if Shotzzy gets another ring, then, you know, there it is, I guess. But yeah, we definitely got some onliners. Slasher, I'm sure, was loving it. Exceed, gone. TJ, not really an onliner, but, you know, TJ gone. Slasher, he was loving it. Need BP to 100k. In your opinion, which way is higher for GOAT combos, consistency or trophies? I think trophies, but I care slightly less about consistency and more about longevity of like peak. So I think it's very impressive if players are very consistent, but players are always going to change and evolve and have up years and down years. I think what I'm more interested in is, can you still be a very valuable player over a long period of time? Like, that to me is more important than the GOAT combo. It's why I rate Clayster very highly. I'm not saying he's higher than Crim, Scump or Karma, but like, I have Clay above Formal for that reason, just because Clay was around for a long time. He also had a very high peak. And yeah, the end of Clay's career wasn't great, but like, he was still a factor in Cold War. He was still a factor over the next couple of years. Like, and he changed and evolved as a player to some extent. And he was around long before Formal was around as well. So I think that gives him a bit of a nudge, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's a tough one, to be fair. Like, to debate. It's all very contextual. Thanks, Mem Doug, for the 2. Do you own or own a part of Breaking Point? Yeah, co-founder, co-owner of Breaking Point. So we're a team over here. Simp has more chips, more MVPs, more season MVPs, and has been more consistent in his career. It's simple. You talking about compared to Shotzzy? That the debate? I think that's gonna. Oh no, compared to Scump, I see. Jacob has more rings than Scump. Is he better as Scump all time? Obviously not. Yeah. Like, my hot take is that rings are like somewhat overrated. Not massively overrated, but I don't think, you know, I don't know. Like, I think if like, if Adam Assault had somehow won champs again 2 more times and had got 3 rings, but those were his only 3 rings, or like his only 3 chips for 3 rings, like, he doesn't just become the GOAT, right? Like, I'm not. Obviously, rings are important for cementing a career, but I don't think it's massively damaging to Scump's legacy that he only has 1 ring. Like, as 1 is a lot bigger than 0. 2 is bigger than 1, but not as much bigger. And 3 is, again, significantly bigger, but it's not like a total game changer to me. Like, yeah, Apathy 2 rings, JCap 2 rings, awesome, very impressive, great stuff. Shotzzy, I mean, 3 rings, maybe he's going to get 4 if you consider Halo and all this. Yeah, people have different opinions on it, but, like, I mean, Dashy's got, what, 6 chips with 2 rings, which is great, but, like, what am I taking? 6 chips and 2 rings, or Formal's 20 chips and 1 ring? And I know that it was a different era, so you could win more chips, which is fair enough. But also, like, you know, I'm taking the latter. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that. That might be a hot take, to be honest. You guys having some good debates. Yeah, look, I mean, Karma, don't get me wrong. 3 rings as a coach, 2 rings as a player, sensational. Rings are worth 3 to 5 event wins, Scumpers 30 wins. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Apathy over Celium 100%. I think I would agree with that. To me, Apathy was always like on the borderline of the top 10. And I don't think Seller's done anything to get up there, you know? Like, Sill still only got his 1 ring. He's got a good amount of chips, but nothing crazy. So I think Apathy over Cell, probably. I do think LAN does weigh that. Like, I will admit, the whole Modern Warfare 19 season is complete cheese. Like, unfortunately, the fact that those chips count is kind of fraudulent. Like, we consider Scump to have extra... I mean, I'm not just saying Scump. We consider everyone to have extra chips because of that season. And, like, Dallas were the best team, so they did deserve it, but it's still kind of like a... I don't know. That ring carries less weight. It just is what it is. I do agree. Karma's all rings on LAN is just different, you know. Is what it is. When Simp uploads something, the level of sweatband, and then we can have the debate. Goatsy Halo career too. Yeah, like, I agree. I'm not trying to take anything away from players. I just think it's an interesting debate. Like, what matters more? Because every tournament that goes on, especially as Shotzzy continues to fry and all of this, like, where he sits all time is a good question. It's a very good question. So, Rap, who is closer to winning champs this year, LA Thieves or FaZe? The funny thing is, if you had to make me pick who's more likely to win champs, I'm actually taking Thieves, I think. Like, I think that FaZe will likely place better than Thieves at champs, but I don't know if I see FaZe winning it, just for all the reasons that we've discussed. Simp at the end of the season hasn't historically done that well. Draz has fallen off at the end of the year last year. And then you've got O4 and Abuza, players that still continue to be questionable when it matters. So, like, if I have to pick a champs winner out of those two, I'm taking Thieves. Because I think that, like, they're more likely to put it all together on a great weekend than FaZe are. But I think that FaZe are likely to have a higher average result. But we'll see. Like, I agree. I have my questions on O4 and Abuza, but I think we're about to find out. Like, this weekend, we're going to find out. Today, we're going to find out. They played Paris, right? Which is a big deal. So, not to take away from Karma, but if Cole pick up Claysaver champs in BO2, they probably win. And if they keep Claysaver Ghost, they also probably win. I guess that's fair. Like, they probably were the best team anyway. But I don't know. Like, I think Karma was still an important part of that team. And Karma was also godlike in BO2. Like, so he deserves the credit for that. This whole FaZe team is full of floppers on Sunday. I feel like the narrative around that might eventually change, but this could be a big weekend to find out, right? Like, we were kind of hoping... I was hoping that Xnid would at least do something on LAN so we could stop talking about it, but unfortunately that was not the case. So it's possible the same will be true for FaZe. Will Hydra get good this year? I think he will. I do think he will. But today is important, right? Like, if they lose to G2 or if they lose to OpTic or something, then whoever they play, it's pretty brutal for Thieves. At least they made it to Saturday. But I think they'll make it to Sunday, but I'm not obviously convinced about that. Where is Dashy all-time? Oh, lots of comments in the chat. Where's Dashy all-time debate if they go back-to-back-to-back? I think he becomes... He moves up to like borderline top 6, top 5. I don't know. I think this is my point on rings, right? Like, if Dashy, okay, let's say OpTic don't win a tournament this year, but they win champs. So Dashy is then, and Shotzzy will have done, but like, let's just talk about Dashy. He will then have gone back-to-back-to-back champs wins, which is insane. Don't get me wrong, but does that put him over formal? Is he above formal? I mean, he probably is, but I don't know. Like, that is my point earlier about how good were you over a period of time, like, because Dashy, years like Modern Warfare 19, Cold War, obviously Vanguard Dashy was good and OpTic did win, and Dashy was frying in a lot of these years. But he wasn't actually... He wasn't that impactful on the map, and it wasn't really leading to team success. So... And obviously over the last 3 years, that's changed. But, yeah, I guess that's the question. Is, yeah, one more ring and Dashy is the GOAT AR over Clay and Formal. Like, I don't think that's true, personally. But I can see the debate for it. I mean, and to be fair, he would be very close. He would be very close. I mean, it would be a convo. But, like, again, this is why rings are a little bit overrated, because just hypothetically, imagine Dashy just gets absolutely slammed the rest of this season, but he turns up to champs and wins it. Is he just magically the GOAT AR now? Like, if he look, if Dashy cooks this season, if he wins tomorrow, if he wins Major 3, if he wins, like, 2 of the next 3 events, and then he wins champs, like, yeah, I'm happy to entertain GOAT debate. Oh, sorry, I did miss a super chat there. Thank you for the reminder. For the 2, Nasty would cook on LA Thieves rather than Neum. Oh my god, I would love to see that. God, free Nasty, please. I feel bad. I feel really bad for him that he's not able to get out here. It's undeniable that Dashy was not as impactful in the early part of his career as he is now. He himself would tell you that. So, you know, it is what it is. If Ant and Bruce go back-to-back-to-back, they're the greatest duo of all time. That's probably true. But again, it's like, Scump and Formal did win a lot. But yeah, I think that's fair. That probably is fair. And also, it would be all on LAN, which I think you've got to respect. But the Formal even said if they three-peat, they're better than them, the Dynasty. I think, I mean, look, okay, if respectfully, I don't really care about Formal's opinion. Like, I'm interested to know what he says to an extent, but I don't think he gets the final say on what the community thinks. I do think that, I think if they win champs again, then, yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Are they better than the Dynasty if they win this champs again? Like, yeah, but it's context, right? Like, I know you guys are saying I don't remember who wins the majors, but who wins champs, and I get that. In 10 years, that's what people will talk about. But also, it depends how the season goes to an extent. Like, it's... But obviously, right now, OpTic are cooking, and I'm willing to entertain that. I'm very willing to entertain that if OpTic continue playing this year the way that they have done, then they're better than the Dynasty. I mean, they could go down as the best OpTic team ever, but you got to remember, Mercules only joins this team like 8 months ago. So, no, I'm not denying that Formal said it. I didn't deny that Formal said it. But I don't, like... Formal doesn't just decide my opinion. Or, like, we don't just listen to Formal and then he tells us what to think. Like, we can have our own opinions on things, whatever Formal says. Obviously, it's interesting to hear his take on it. But like, what I'm saying is, this team radically changed when Mercules joined. So, Shotzzy and Dashy, that's a different team. Like, the Shotzzy and Dashy, Kenny and Pred team is a very different team. Shotzzy and Dashy still deserve the credit, but that you can't consider these the same teams. They're very different teams. The Mercules Hook team is a very different team. The way that they go about the game is different. The way that they've approached the game is different. And they've only been a team for like 8 months. So look, if they win for the rest of this season and they win champs again, then yeah, I think absolutely they could be the best team of all time. But we need to see it first. So, but I think they're very much on the pace. What I will say is incredible about this OpTic team is that they have an incredibly high win percentage in every game mode. Like the argument that I would make over the Dynasty is that the Dynasty during their run, in most years, they had a 50% win rate in search, pretty much. They were basically coin flipping in search, and they would win all the respawns. They would win like 70% of the respawns. But their search was never actually that good, apart from Infinite Warfare, when Search and Destroy was basically TDM, and they won 70% of the searches. But every other year they played Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, they were pretty much coin flipping in search, like 55% win rate, and then they would win like 70% of their respawns. This OpTic team wins 70% of every game mode. It doesn't matter. They just win everything. Like, even when it's close, they still win. And I agree. Complexity were the same thing. Their search also wasn't great. Rab brought the BS takes out today. No, I'm speaking straight facts. So this is what I would give OpTic, the current OpTic team, the benefit of the doubt on, is that like in terms of an all-around COD team, if they keep going, then they will be better. But I don't know if they can keep going. But they played well yesterday. They got the job done against Toronto. I think they're going to have a battle for sure. Plummet era. Yes, I will be going to the venue, absolutely. What I'm planning to do after this is walk over to Resorts World and see if I can do another live show tomorrow morning. And because I didn't get a reply back from the guy who runs the show over there. So I'm just going to walk in and see if I can get him to give me a call back or something. And if I can get it done, then I'll do an announcement later today. But it's not looking that likely right now, which just is what it is. Like, try these things. But I would like to do a pre-show before tomorrow's games in person over at the venue again. But I don't know if that's possible. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to go to Masters London, actually. I'll think about it for sure. I'll think about it. Okay, let's talk about some matches, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a bracket. We have some matches to get into. Thanks to Prize Picks as well, supporting this part of the show. If you guys want to get involved, link in the top line of the description. Claim your $50 on your first $5 pick. We have 04 with code breaking point, or the link. Either works. We've got 04 at a 0.9. This is a tough series to call. I mean, Thunderpick have FaZe as the marginal favourites. Envoy at 0.91 again. Like there's not much Envoy belief, but I do obviously understand that. Simp at a 1.09. Abuja at about a 1 flat. I feel like Abuja should have a bounce back series today because yesterday Abuja wasn't great, but I'm kind of expecting a bounce back. Obviously the crowd. I mean, who are the crowd going to support? I guess they're going to support FaZe here, right? Because they don't like the French. Obviously Abuja is Belgian, so it's maybe it's not quite the same. But, yeah, crowd is very much going to be anti-Paris. I mean, wow, I really hope we get another OpTic Paris final. I know it's probably quite unlikely, but I really hope we get a Paris final. Let me move my camera out of the way, actually, because you can't see anything. Because the crowd in there would be absolutely bonkers, mate. Like, it was so loud yesterday, and if we got that energy, because, I mean, it was really loud when Ravens played Paris. And, Paris were, the crowd's anti-Paris, which is fine. That's part of the game. So I don't understand why people expect like crazy chants all the time. Like the chants have to be quite ad hoc, I think. But we'll see. Also, people weren't getting like that drunk yesterday, whereas today and tomorrow there will be more beers. And also they've got more bars in there today, so there's even more beers. That's the plan, I think. FaZe takes this. I actually do need to give EasyMac my predictions, to be fair. So, do I have FaZe in this one? I think... I don't know, actually. Yeah, maybe I should take FaZe in 5 again. I think it's a 5 mapper, isn't it? I think it's a 5 mapper. Grand finals have mad chance. Yeah, look, if OpTic make the grand finals, then yeah, I mean, chalk it up. It's going to be sensational. I think FaZe are better than mates. They trolled last tourney. Net went God mode. Adam said they ran out of beer. Wait, we ran out of beer again? There's no we ran out of beer. We ran out of beer a few years ago. I don't think we ran out of beer this time, yeah. But we did have too few bars. It was like a 20-minute queue at least to even get a beer. People were queuing up for 20, 25 minutes to get to the bar, and then they were getting 2 double pints and walking back to the seat with 2 double pints, because it's like, what's the point going back again after 1 pint? So you just have to get... People were getting 4 pints just for themselves because it was the only way to do it. It was just pretty sensational, I thought. But I don't really want to drink today, actually. I might just save it for tomorrow. I'm a little bit, like, feeling it a little bit. I'm an old man now, you know. Old man. Especially because the early starts because of the Grand Prix. Mamba at a 0.87 is kind of low. Obviously, the thing is that OpTic could just come in and smoke him. Especially now OpTic are quite warmed up in the tournament. Merc at a 1.15 is like... They literally think this kid is God, is actually God himself, which, to be fair, he kind of is. But, yeah. I don't know, it's just... Merc is just... Is Merc just the greatest ever? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's so insane, isn't it? Like, because Merc is like Karma, but if Karma was popping 1.1s or above. So, and I know that it's a different team to the Dynasty in the way that the team is set up and everything. Like, Dashy doesn't play the way that Formerly used to. Shotzzy and Hook aren't the same as Scump and Crim. But, like, yeah, he's literally Karma on drugs. Like, he's pack-a-punched Karma. Which is like... I think that's probably unfair. Like, I think if you put... It's unfair on Karma, I mean, right? Like, Karma is one of the greatest for a good reason. And if you put Merc, if you just magicked Merc into that OpTic Dynasty team, I don't think he would play the same way or drop the same numbers. But, yeah, it's just like... Yeah, I don't understand it. And then yesterday, he had like a 6 KD in the Surge. So... That's the thing, like, when Merc's doing that in the search, like, what are you meant to do about it? So I just don't understand what you do against this kid. But it's why, as I said earlier, you have to consider OpTic pre-Merc and post-Merc. You can't pretend that pre-Merc OpTic was the same. Like, every team in the world would be lucky to have Mercules. It just is what it is. That's how it looks right now. Yeah, so pretty wild, to be honest. He's like Karma with a better shot. Yeah, it's just a joke. It is actually a joke. And you can't pick against him. And the only team they lost to online was bloody Falcons in some fraud online lag series, and then they get bopped out of the tournament last place anyway, so it's all very confusing. But yeah, I don't know. It's impossible to look past OpTic as ever in this one, so... I would be expected. Yeah, it was a great play from Merc in that 1v1 yesterday, and the venue was wild as well for that moment, which is pretty hype. And he does it no claw, no scuff. Yeah, I mean, he's getting his controllers just door dashed in if he needs another one, and he just whips out a new controller. It's just like, yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah, that's what I'm like. look, obviously OpTic's 2024 champs, you got to give it to them. That was an unreal comeback run, and then last year the 0-18 and all this. But it's yeah, it's just a different OpTic now. It's a very different OpTic. Yeah, I don't know what you're meant to do against OpTic in that game too. I mean, look, where's Merc? He's sitting at a 7.5 here, which, I mean, for Merc, that's not even that outrageous. But he can't do it every single map, you would imagine. But maybe he can. Don't know. I think this could be a close match, though. Like, Kenny did say he thinks this could be a 5-mapper. So I wouldn't be that surprised. There's always going to be a bit of a gorilla. But the thing is, OpTic they just run brackets nowadays. They just like to run through the bracket. So, I don't know. I could see OpTic just getting this done in 3, to be honest with you. I think I'm taking FaZe in 5, although I might have to have a look at what Benjay's taken, because I'm only 1 point behind Benjay, so I might need to take a little risk in there somewhere. I think most people are going to take the loser of that to beat Toronto as well. So, yeah, I guess that's probably fair, but it's tough to call who loses this one. And then OpTic versus G2 versus Thieves. I've got Thieves taking down G2, I think. I said it in the video this morning. I think they'll have enough. But I don't know. No winner's advantage in the bracket. I had to listen to Daniel on Ben's stream. I didn't talk to Daniel yesterday, but I did bump into him. I don't know what it's actually. To be fair to Dan, fair play for I don't know why I call him Dan. I'm not on terms with him like that. Fair play to Daniel for going on Ben's stream, because he at least he'll talk about it. Like I think on a few things his hands are quite tied. I might be wrong, but I think he has good intentions. I'll give him that, but I don't know if I can say too much more than that. OpTic gonna have to bounce out my second team LAT. Damn, so Stinkmeaner thinks G2 are taking the win. This is a loser's game, just to make this very clear. So the loser of this plays Thieves, rather than the winner. The Merc walk-off yesterday was legendary. Surely a clip for the ages. Yeah, no, that was a great highlight for sure. Daniel say talks like a politician. Look, he is just a great person for that role. Unfortunately, as in on his, on this corporate BS, because he acts like every league commissioner ever. Like there's the guys in Valorant. They are the same. They're the same way. They're exactly the same thing. They say words basically, and the words are always like, oh, yes, we're working flat out to resolve this. The team's hard at work behind the scenes working on these. They always talk about these things. So it is, it is what it is. But yeah, my gut feel is that he's just a pawn, unfortunately, and he's kind of the fall guy. So I have no problem with Daniel. He's very pleasant to talk to, and I genuinely think he does have the best intentions of the scene in mind, but it's not easy, It's not easy. So I understand that. The 10 bomb from UN Fex with the 9.99. UNC Fex, Unk Fex. That's probably more like it. Gotta go to Rise and get my 17 Pro Max. Thanks, Rab. Have a good stream, everyone. Love from America. Yeah, hope you're all having a fantastic day wherever you happen to be in the world. We're looking into it. That's the one. That's the one. We might change it later. Yeah, we're looking into it. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks all for joining me this afternoon. I'm going to go and head to the venue in a second. As I say, I'm going to have a little stop off over at the Resorts World to see if I can do a live show tomorrow. If that can happen, then we'll try and run it. If it can't, then it is what it is. But otherwise, we will be in good shape for the rest of the day. I'll see if I can get more content from the venue today. I'm not sure how it's going to work in terms of setup and everything. And also, it's so draining in there. Like, it's so dark. I just find it's... the events are so tiring in these just massive dark hallways, I tend to find. But anyway, hope you've all had a good day, and in a few minutes' time, the matches will be underway, and it should be a really good one. I mean, I'm looking forward to that first game, second game. The elimination games are going to be bangers as well. So, yes, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you later today on the main channel for the recap video, and then tomorrow, of course, we'll be back for the Championship Sunday with 4 of these 6 teams will be still in the tournament. So, yeah, take care all. See you in a bit.